Hello, welcome back guys on my channel. I guess you guys are doing fine. If you're having a bad day right now, please don't be worried. Everything will be fine. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. Okay, anyway, so today my video topic is the top 10 harmony character, or you can say the support character for this HSR. Now, HSR is a turn-based game, and for this turn-based mechanics and also semi-world mechanics, the character animation is very kind of a normal one, or you can say the niche one. For this reason, they can even introduce us a new character every patch, and also the number of characters in HSR is very much higher than the other however games already exist in this market, which is the Genshin and also Zenless Zero, because HSR does not even require that much of a effort to when you make a character, because it's a turn based and the total gameplay is loop, skill and also ultimate. There are some kind of a uniqueness, and also they are applying some kind of a new things which is happening in the cast studies from the second anniversary of HSR, where they are just applying some the extra summoning techniques where you can control the summon by the dragon and also control his like a dragon breathe. You already know if you just watch her gameplay, but that's not the main thing that I'm talking about. So for this like a consistent release of a character, the power creep is also existing in this game. There was a word in this always going on in the gacha community, which is always pull for the support character, because support is eternal, DPS is limited. Well, yes, because if you pull some universal support character, the support character could be really going to help you for 1 or 2 years or even more than that, because there is some other support character who is even doing that like a 5 years. After 5 years later, the support character is all still on the top of the game, which is the Bennett from the Genshin Impact and also Shinchu. So that's not the main thing. The main thing is that the consistent release of this character in this HSR, the power creep is also happening with the DPS character, and also it is happening with the harmony character, or you can say the support character as well as. Now, why is this happening? Because Genshin release a frequency amount of character or new character very rarely, and for these rare occasions the power creep really exists for a long time. But when it comes to consistent release of new character, the new character should be better for the previous one. If the character is not even better from the previous one, the character won't be sell anymore. So anyway, I just yapping a very much of a bit which is non-topic, but in here the power creep is also exists with the harmony or support class in HSR. So in that case, let's see what kind of top 10 character in here should I even put in. It is totally based on my opinion that I already played from this game day one, and also casual player. I'm not even an in-depth player just like the other gacha CCs. So the things that I'm going to introduce to you, it is totally on the casual based, not in a like actual fact based. If you are one of those guys who can even clear from the number 10 list that I'm going to put on, this is also really good for you, because you can even play this game any way you want. So as you can see that I already put all the support characters in here, but I'm not going to put all of them into the number 10 list, because there are some characters who play as a niche role. If I just give you an example, which is a Dahlia, she is as only premium for back support character, and also the Fuge, which is also a premium for the back characters. Another character which is the Jiakui, and this character is only supported for, you can say, the partner, exclusive partner for the Echiron, or you can say the mid Ichiron, because mid Chiron is not even going to be viable in the current meta anyway. So I'm not going to put any of those characters, because this character are playing the niche roles, but there are some characters who plays other universal one, and I'm going to rank them as a top 10 and also in this list. So first character that I'm going to put for the number 10, which is this Silverroof. Yeah, Silverroof is one of those version 1.0 characters, and she is actually pretty much good. But that time she was considered as one of the most feature-proof and also broken character, because she can even implement any kind of weakness to a certain enemy, and their certain enemy should be single target. But that was the main problem. But at first the total content was revolving around was a single target content, and so people did not even find any kind of reason to put her like a lower down. So they just put her into a higher value, because if you just somehow break the toughness bar of the weakness enemy, the enemy will have a much of a vulnerability to take more damage. That was the main thing was happening in the version 1.0. So she was actually powerful, but after some times later, when there are so other characters like releasing at the same time, they just making the game more better, and Silverroof just dropping down a much more later. But after some times later, when they just give her a Silverroof buff where she can even do a AoE attack instead of the single attack, and also implement also going to be happening and much more consistent, where in previous you have to have the whole mono element to give a certain weakness to an enemy, but that was not even happening in the post buff Silverroof. So Silverroof in a post buff, also good energy management, and also the ultimate was reducing the defense of an enemy 40% of AoE, or you can say the skin wipe. That was the much most better silver version that you could ever ask for. So on our next character, which I'm going to put her into the number 9, which is the Cypher. Yes, Cypher is also considered as a kind of a support DPS, but she's also plays as a support character. How she does? Well, she's the support character which is released in the Amorphous region, which is the previous region of this game version. But how does she work? All she's going to give you is a 40% of damage vulnerability towards the enemy just being on the field. That's it. She does not need to use her skill or ultimate or anything else. Just having on your team is going to give an enemy wap up to like a permanent 40% damage vulnerability, which is a huge buff. But that's not the thing she do. She also can do a high amount of damage. What she does, when your DPS is doing a certain amount of damage, there is a number of coins is going to be generated on her skill point, and that generated point can be damaged like a wap up to 400 to 1 million or even 2 million. The more coin you are going to generate into, or you can say the store into your character, the more damage she is going to do it. Just like if I give you an example, if you just somehow store like around 1000 to 1500 coin to her kit, she will do like a 1 million damage. That's much of how powerful she is. So she's very much of easy to play, but why am I putting her 9? Well, that's it. She just do damage and also give you a 40% damage vulnerability buff. Other than that, she's not even giving you anything else, just like a CC remove or any other things. But there are other characters which is coming up next, also just give you much more value than her. So our next card, which I'm going to put her into the number 8, which is the none other than the Bronya. Yes, Bronya, which is a standard character you can consider is one of the best standard character that you can ever pull out of standard banner. And also she's version 1.0 character, or you can say the early game character. Well, she's one of those characters who can even give you a 100% action advance bonus, and also her E1, which is a constellation one, can give you a 50% chance to not use the skill point, which is also give you a good SP management. And also when she's going to action forward a certain teammates, if the certain teammates is going to be CC'd, she will remove it instantly. Other than that, when she is just use her ultimate, she's going to give you a crit damage buff, attack buff, and also good amount of stats. That's it. But other than that, on her skill, she is going to give you a skill damage bonus as well as. That's another thing. But one thing is for sure, if you just wap her into a 10 seconds, which is a premium 4-star Lightcon, you can say the weapon, she will give you a action advance 25% if your dance sense is a S5 in the same amount of time when she is going to do her ultimate. That's it. Other than that, when you are just going to use her skill, she can even self forward action advance like a 15 to 10% according to your talent numbers. So that's the whole thing she does, and she's also even a good character, even competing with other character, decent character. But her kit also is not even going to be good one, because other character which is the upcoming that I'm going to put on them, who also added value, this kind of 100% action advance, and also just add more value than her. So she is just a number 8. So in our next character, which I'm going to put her into number 7, and that character is none other than the Ruanmei. Yes, the Ruanmei is already given us to free in the shop. Why am I putting her into the number 7? Well, even also putting her above those 3 characters. Well, Ruanmei is one of those characters who released in a Panaconi version, and also she is a core team for break character. But other than that, she also provides you a huge amount of things. First of all, when she just going to use her ultimate, she's just going to give the enemy action interruption, and that is going to be really helpful for a 0 cycle clear, and also give her a higher amount of accessibility to do a damage more to the break characters, because break characters need to be damaged when the enemy is a vulnerable stage or a toughness bar break stage. Other than that, they can even do any kind of damage. So that's not the main thing. Her ultimate also give you a number of good amount of speed to a whole teammate, and also give you a 24%. Okay, remember that 24% all types of respawn. So within her ultimate, she will give you a 24% damage for the all team member that existing in your team. So she's a very much of a good character, but there is one problem is happening, which is that when she is going to use her ultimate, there are all types of damage resistance is only for the 1 or 2 turns. You already know that how much of a bad it is. If you somehow one DPS who is even CC'd right now, that character cannot even do the damage where the turn is already ongoing, where the 24% buff is ongoing. You already know what I'm talking about. So our next character is the number 6, which is the Robin. You might be really shocked that how Robin is even number 6, not even like a number top 3, or you can say the top 5. Well, when the Robin was released, she is considered as a number like a zero cycle character, where if you just have on your team, she can give you a whole team action advance with 100% with her ultimate, and during her ultimate she is going to be not even attacked by the enemy. Other than that, she was very much of a niche one because her total kits revolving around giving as a follow-up attack damage boost and also give a huge amount of attack and also ultimate damage. Other than that, she is not even giving or provide you anything else. But why am I putting her before the Ruanmei? Because the action advance is very much of a helpful, and it can even you clear your endgame mode within the given time. If you're just like on the verge of clearing it, but you just need one more cycle, this character can give you that. Other than that, if you just give you like a number 1 constellation or like a C1, this character can give you a 24% rest span, but all the uptime, because her ultimate time is a very much of a long time, and it is even better than the Ruanmei, where the Ruanmei can give you like only 1 turn or 2 turn. So you already know that how much of a better thing. But other than that, she's also very much of a good character if you have her on the team. But right now, current meta, she's just falling off. Other character is just ramping up on their position. So that's all for the number 6 position. Let's talk about our 5th number position, which is the none other than the Robin Brothers Sunday. Yes, Sunday. Sunday is one of those characters. When this guy was released, this guy is a similar to Bronya but better. How? Because this guy is not even only providing a crit damage but also a warp amount of like a 20% crit rate, which is also very much of a good one, and it also going to helps to reduce your pressure among build your DPS character. The crit rate and maintaining the crit damage is very much of a hard for any kind of DPS character, and also getting those good substats on a character or on a relics is very much of a hard to do. So this character is just a cheat code for every DPS character. Other than that, this character is one of those characters who can give you a extra skill point when he's just using his skill, and also if you just equip him with his signature LC, every ultimate he will give you an extra skill point, which is also a very QQL update. And also this guy can control the summoning DPS character if your DPS character have a summoning capability, just like the Jing one, or you can say the mid one. And also this character can give you a energy recharge, like how many percentage I don't even remember, but you can even check out his skill or you can description, but he can give you a certain character a huge amount of skill point if your DPS character require a high amount of energy. That's it. But other than that, this character cannot even help those Eminator types of character such as the Acheron and also Phaenon. These types of character cannot even get helps from him, and also the Castoris. They are classified as a Eminator, or you can say the Eminator level of character, and they are like a unique mechanics have, and they are required their own perspective or own personal mechanics to proc their ultimate. That's it. So that's all for the number 5. Let's talk about in our next list, which is the Sparkle. Yes, this is a pretty much diabolical if you are following the priority tier list, because in the priority tier list, Sparkle even considers a tier 1, because in her like a pre-buff stage, she's not even considered is that much of a good one. Why am I talking about this? Because she was a SP bot. All she's just going to give you a like a 50% crit damage and huge amount of SP. Other than that, she's not even giving you anything else. That's it. But as you already know, the Sunday, Robin, Ruanmei, they are giving you a 25% rest span and also giving a huge amount of energy, skill point, and also crit rate, crit damage. But other than, she's not even giving you anything yet. But after post buff, this is Sparkle totally changed the game. She can give you a certain amount of enemy vulnerability, 10% defense ignore, more skill point, and when she is using her skill, that skill is not even up to the par level of this Sunday and also Bronya, where they can like 100% skill advance to a certain teammate, but Sparkle going to be 50% if they just maintain or like give her a 100%, you're going to be very much of a broken one. So balancing out, they just remain her 50%, they just buff everything. When she is using a skill, that skill point is not going to be used or you can like consumed by Sparkle. That's how much of a powerful she is right now. And also vulnerability buff is also a good thing. Besides that, she also having a QQL update, where on the off field she can even generate her like own ultimate, which can give your whole teammate a certain amount of or like a full amount of SP, and that can be done if your teammate is consumed by Sparkle's given SP or like a consumed Sparkle given SP. So this is also maintaining her ultimate on the uptime. So that's much of how powerful she is, and she's like currently one of the best support character for the election, which is the current path running right now. For the third number list, which I'm going to put in, is the none other than the our Remembrance MC. Yes, the Remembrance MC, which is the free version of the Amophorus character and also Remembrance path. Now, why am I putting this character number 3? Because this character is not even going to give you a free version, and also this is a Temu version of the Sarene, which I'm going to put her on the list in our next character. But how this character is going to be in a number 3 position? Because first of all, this character can be get free by just playing the story and also playing the whole Amorphous region. This will be a perfect thing. And another thing is that this character can give you a 2 damage. Yes, 2 damage is one of those damage archetype where your teammate does not have to lower down your enemy's opponent or anything else. The damage that your teammate has to be doing, the damage will be done by the true damage. That's how the true damage was broken in that meta and currently also running right now. This true damage is not only work only Remember's character, just like the Elation does only Elation character. This true damage can work for a break character as well as. Now this might be funny, but this is actually true. And for a character who can give you a huge amount of true damage buff for your certain team member is very much of a diabolical thing. Other than that, this character can also give you 100% action advance. So this character is a SP positive, give you 100% action advance, but not like a consistent, just like the Sparkle, Sunday and also Bronya, but can give you occasional 100% action advance and also 2 damage buff, which you can give it as a free character. Okay, that's all for the number 3rd position. Our second character, which is going to put on, it is the Trivi. Trivi. Why am I putting Trivi in a second position? Well, when the Trivi was released, people are thinking that is this character going to be good one? But after some time, when they just so many tests into her, she's just so much good, even more good than rest of the character in here. So if you have a chance to pick any of those characters from these number 10 positions, then I guess you should pull Trivi in any day. Why? Because she can give you a huge number of action advance. How? Because if you just equip her with a dance, which is a S5, or you can say the 4-star gacha weapon, or you can say the 5-star gacha weapon, but I guess just mistakenly just put that LC into a 4-star version. So anyway, if you just put her or like equip her with a dance, every time she's just going to deploy her ultimate, the 25% of action advance of that LC is going to be proc each and every time, which is also helps to action advance your whole team member at the same time as well as clearing the MOC or also clearing any end game. That thing is going to help you very much. This is also another thing. Another thing is that if you just somehow get her the E1, or you can say the Constellation one, on her skill, which is going to be always 100% uptime, is going to give you a true damage. Okay, just think about it. This character, which is the Remember SMC, this character will give you a single character true damage buff, but this Trivi on her E1 is going to give every character a single, or you can say the true damage buff. He's very much diabolical and very much good, and also very much of a future proof character that you can ever ask for. Other than that, she can give you a follow-up damage all the time, and that true damage also self buff as including as well as. And on her follow-up damage is not even a joke, is also deal a massive warp amount of damage, which can consider as a good support DPS character. On her being her off field, which I already mentioned on the Sparkle part, if your teammate is doing a skill damage or ultimate damage, the certain number of energy is going to be poured into her, and she is going to be just deploying her ultimate without using her skill or using her basic attack. Being off field or like an off turn, she's going to deploy her ultimate and anytime and just proc the 25% action advance of the SFDDD in no time. So that's all for this trivia. Let's talk about our number 1 character. Yes, it's none other than the Sirene. Now, Sirene was very much of a controversial release when she was releasing Amorphous end versions. And she was creating so much controversy because she was the most hyped character in the HSR ever could get. And when she was in a beta testing, when the people were already know what kind of buff she already get, people have thought that if a character required that much of a turn to deploy her ultimate, which is the main thing of her, how are we going to use her? Because if you just somehow use her ultimate, damn, our ultimate is going to give all the character a full 100% energy recovery. And also if the character is a unique mechanism that does not even care, this character also giving each and every character a full 100% recovery. And also this character going to give you a much more consistent true damage than the Trivi does with her E1, which is a very much of a costly one. And other than that, this character is a attack buff, whatever you want, everything this character even can give you. Besides than that, these two characters is also very much of a near close to one. Why? Because Trivi does not even require any kind of her signature weapon. She can even work with this forester signature weapon. For a Sirene, she is also working with a MOC Lightcon, which you can, if you are just one of those regular player who do the end game content frequently, you can even get those like a Remember as a support LC. That's it. So I guess I already cover up all the top 10 support character which is existing right now and also currently dominating the meta. If you have any kind of question regarding this thing, please leave a comment. And also, this is my own personal opinion. If you have any kind of opinion, please feel free to share on it. And also, don't be like start a war about it, because obviously, as I already mentioned before, I'm a casual player, not like a meta-centric player who just go through each and every character like a pie to pie. I always thought about what kind of character is going to be really valuable for a casual player. I always think about it. That's it. So that's all for this video. If you like it, leave a like and also drop a comment. I also already mentioned before, and see you on the next video. Peace.